No.
No. What?
Just I'm just messing around.
Well, I,
Um,
I think your question just created like three levels of answers.
Oh, good. So
Um,
let's hit those levels.
yeah, I usually go last. So go ahead and go last. No, but I'll say yes generally,
Okay.
and we can of course expand on all of these answers. Yes, generally, because I see a lot of campaigns now that are like they get as people talk about them. I should say they get excited when they get to the merch, like oh my god, and you can get a shirt, and you can get a shot glass, and you can get a coffee mug, and I'm like, wait, go back because you didn't tell me anything about the book or the story or the art or like I didn't somehow I missed all of that. But no, look, you can get a shirt, you can get a thing. So I think there is a weird sort of shifting focus, right? I don't think it's like permeated all of indie comics by any stretch, but I think there is definitely this thought process that merch is somehow the validation of the product within the comic book. I mean,
Okay.
um, and to some degree there's some reality in that because the more your brand can expand through different levels of media, it can attract different eyeballs. But again, some of these guys only have a couple of issues out, 2 or 3 issues in a lot of cases. They haven't really made the book anything that someone wants a coffee mug of yet, outside of just like a cool piece of art that happens to be done by a cool artist. Obviously people just collect art, but um, so yeah, I have seen a touch of that, and I don't. I I mean, as a consumer myself, it's not for me.
Okay.
It takes a little more for me to want your merch than it is for your book.
Okay. All right. Carlos, what do you think, man?
For me, it's been kind of up and down. So when I first started, my first few Kickstarters, way too much of that shit. So there was T-shirts, there was pins, there was what do you call the stickers? So there was posters. So there was all of that crap that ended up eating into the total goal.
Mhm.
Um, because then I ended up after all the excitement and you did it, you made it. Then all of a sudden it's like the count and it's like, oh crap, man.
Right.
This costs money to send out, and then of course I had the t-shirt, so it's not the same box, so it's a bigger box, so that meant even more shipping. And then when you're first getting into this whole thing, you're bound to fuck up with the what you should be charging for shipping. So yeah, I think it was like the first two Kickstarters were just nightmares for that. So after that, I really cut down on it to where there really it wasn't anything um, outside of the comic that I was offering. But basically, I was offering that, and I was offering some of the back issues as well as what did I offer? And the mini EP, the comic that if the person backed it, we made it. It was almost like an on-demand comic, and that actually worked out for a couple campaigns. But to me, that was really the only thing. I just no after the experience of the first couple where it just costs so much to keep
Right.
up, and then we circle back to the latest one with the Black Dahlia campaign. I did t-shirts, pens, uh, pins, that kind of stuff was offered, and it did okay. So it's one of those things where okay, so moving forward, probably not,
Right.
maybe, but it didn't really resonate as much. I did it because I'm like, let's try it. I see you and your campaign, to be honest, and a few others offering uh, those types of baubles, and yeah, I was like, okay, it seems to be doing pretty good. Or Carissa, she's like the queen of offering things on the side. And so, yeah, I decided, let me try it, but it was okay. So it's really hard to answer the question other than, if for me, I'm probably guilty of that if you include variant covers in it. So if variants are baubles as well, then yes, I am still learning to cut back, but it's very difficult because a lot of my money makers have come from those variant
Yeah,
covers.
variants aren't. That's normal. That's normal
Yeah.
stuff. That's normal stuff. I mean, that's the reality. I mean, I like that Jay, his campaign right now only has like, you only have one cover, right?
One cover.
Oh, yeah, I know. I only got
Yeah.
one cover.
But look what you're doing with it. Like, you're doing great with one freaking cover, dude. I mean, that's really fantastic.
I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm also doing, a male superhero book, which for some people saying,
Sausage
somebody
fest.
odds-
Yeah, you know.
somebody odds maybe you can get that. Yeah, but Carlos brought up something there that I wanna ask you guys. And do you think it is a case of so many new people see other campaigns while they're doing research and say, oh, maybe I need to have this up there to compete as well? Or do you think it's something of they may not be fully confident in the book itself and need that reinforcement?
I think it's more the research. I think it's more they're seeing successful campaigns doing those types of things.
Okay.
You know, like if you were to go look at Brian Polito's campaign and he does shirts and all kinds of stuff in there, and you're like, oh, well, look at that. But he's doing that because of way more reasons than, just, I mean, he's created literally a brand. He is
Right.
a Marvel, a DC, an Image within himself. Whereas the rest of us are all just sort of like indie dudes sitting at home going, buy my comic, man.
Right.
So it's a little different, but I think that, in fairness, there are a lot of other guys that have been little indie guys that have grown themselves upwards and do a lot of merch stuff. Like I know Dan Mendoza does stuff with like body pillows and things like that. Right. But a lot of that is all sort of, it's a culture base that those guys have built for themselves, and the culture wants that stuff. So if you want to tap into those merch options, you got to have a fan base that cares about those merch options. And for us, I really, outside of people asking for shirts occasionally, I really don't have people asking for any sort of specific merch. Like, hey, you ever do body pillows? Hey, you ever going to do wall tapestries? You ever going to do like, I really don't have people asking for that stuff. So for me, even if in my brain, I'm like, that would be kind of cool. I have no need to rush towards it because I don't see a pocket of my fan base wanting it. And I don't see the flip side to that coin is I don't see, if I were to suddenly say, oh, we have body pillows, I don't suddenly see Dan Mendoza's fans rushing to me because I have a body pillow. Right. He has built that culture with his characters and that type of merch. And that's why they flock to him for it.
Right.
Yep.
Calderon, I remember at one point you were very big on challenge coins, and
everybody was. That was a huge flood. Yeah.
Right. So what was it?
Well,
was it that you wanted to have one on there, or did you feel that it can move something? It can move the needle a little bit for you.
No, it's funny because I didn't really. I just was joking around when I first answered the whole thing. No, I mean the thing is that whenever I put something up that's a stretch goal or any tchotchke that I add on, it's something that I want myself.
Okay.
You understand? If I put up a metal trading card, or I put up a metal bookmark, or I put up a t-shirt or a pin, eventually a challenge coin, and it's something that I want, especially the coin I've been looking at for a minute, because the thing is in the comic, Oswald becomes an emperor and his face is stamped on his coins. So his soldiers have his coin with his face on it, and it would be the same coin I would send out to the fans. So it ties into the comic, so that it's like, it's like Roman emperors. Like, how do you know who, you have a soldier out in the middle of gold and they're like, who's your emperor? He's on your coin. You will always recognize him. So that's why, you know, I wanted to do something like that. So it just depends. That's why and the challenge, I just like the coins. I just like the way they look. I just like having them. So
now, did you get that because Polito does the challenge coins and they're huge and they're almost like a culture unto themselves, or was this unrelated?
I'll be honest with you. I don't follow Polito or anything Lady Death. I don't even look at the stuff. I don't know of anything they really do over there.
Because that's what's one of their big things. They're the challenge coins for them. That's a big seller, and it's something that they do and they incorporate in all of their in their promotion.
Okay. No. I mean, that's cool. I just like them. Like I have challenge coins. Like I have one Cthulhu one. There was a couple of other from a couple other campaigns. I mean, you know, I get them, and you know, whatever I see them, I just like them. I just, like I said, with the Politos, it was just not something. I was never a big Lady Death fan, you know, so I never got into it. So
I look at it as, if it's small enough to fit in one of two boxes, either the clamshell box or the hard mailer, it's something I can go with, right? If it's cost effective or if it fits within the Venn diagram, I'll go with it. But I also try to factor in, what can I bring to a convention as well, right? So yes, I did do shot glasses. That's one of the things I went into. I am going to go into another part of the Venn diagram area of one of the foundational pillars that Todd McFarlane once spoke about. I know, Tom, you've already pulled the trigger on that. Calderon, you've had some success in the vinyl plastic market. But yeah, when it comes to something that is too awkward to fit or ship into one of two different boxes, something I'm really going to stay away from, right? I do try to do shirts, but I see people going balls to the wall with stuff that I don't think is cost effective, right? Yet, you know what, Charlie Stickney on his last campaign, Calderon, I don't know if you remember when he was on your show, I was laughing about this. One of his extras was a small paper napkin with a stamp from the bar that was in his book.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
right. I thought it stood out. I thought it was interesting. I never saw anybody do it before, and it was cost effective. And a napkin is not going to take up much weight in a package, right? So if it ties into the product, why not? Or maybe something that would fit into an old DVD collector's edition.
Well, and I think the key here is that for me, I'm not talking about easy stuff like stretch goals and things like that. I'm talking about people that are actually creating a merchandise product to sell. You know, like, hey, buy the mug, buy the cup, buy the shirt, buy the whatever. And they get hung up on that versus buy the book, buy the cover, buy the art, buy, you know, all that stuff. And there's value in that, because if someone's going to walk around like a Comic-Con with your shirt on, there's value in that. That's advertising for yourself. So I'm not poo-pooing it like in the sense of like, don't do it, guys. I mean, we've done shirts and stuff, you know, over the years, but it's been such a small market for us that people were like gung-ho about it, that I've just kind of let it slide to the side. And, you know, the big merch that we've done obviously was the toy, the Critter action figure, but you know, that was its own thing. It wasn't like slid into another campaign where like, hey, here's a comic book, but don't forget the toy and don't forget the, you know, whatever. It was like, holy shit, we're going to attempt something really wild, guys. Let's try this out. And it was good. The exception to the rule have been these things, these little like acrylic standee things, which have become pretty popular in a lot of campaigns. These are fun. They are super cost effective. They are not expensive in the least, at least if you're doing like 100 pieces or something. They're very easy to ship and people like them. For us, we don't usually sell them. They're usually part of a package thing. Like if you buy a mystery box, you get one. So that's kind of an even bigger bonus for the buyer. They're like, oh, I get a thing in addition to my comics. So that kind of stuff I think is cool. And people have responded to those for sure. So I think a lot of it is trial and error. And, you know, listen, if you put shirts on your campaign or mugs or whatever, and people flock to it, good on you, man. You know, milk that market for as much as you can. again, I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just saying that I think there's a point in your history where you reach a level of, hey, what if I made a coffee mug? And people go, yeah, that's legitimate. I would like that because I've followed you for so long and I know what this book is. But there's so many people that have been doing this for like a year or two. And I'm like, your brand is not even a brand yet. It's just like a few issues of a book. So again, outside of like, hey, I have a J. Scott Campbell piece of art I want to put on everything. Damn right you do, because that cost you a fortune. But but beyond that, it's like I would keep it tight as you can. Keep it easy for yourself. Like you're talking about shipping and all that stuff. Keep it as simple as you can and focus on getting the book out as fast as you can and build your brand.
And look, I'm not, dumping on it either. But what I really want to ask is, are people spending too much money on that as opposed to the book that they're making? Should they have spent money on better collaborators on the book, whether it's interior or cover art, instead of spending the extra money on the shot glasses or the mugs or the t-shirts? Because those are expensive to print up, whether it's in bulk or print on demand, guys, right? Should they focus on one over the other?
Well, I know.
I think so.
It's the reason why I haven't even done the challenge coin yet, is because I'm spending all my money on artwork. Okay. Right? So, I mean, that's basically where, like 95% of the cash goes to, Okay. So, I mean, I think, you need to focus on doing your book, because in the end, that's the most important thing you're producing.
Okay.
Yep, I agree, because I went and did the whole, for this last one, I got the shirt with Lola on it. She was created pretty much for the whole, what is it, not safe for work. And I spent money creating 3 covers that were like that. And I could have taken that money and spun it into something else. So they didn't do as well as I thought they were going to do. In the total percentage of it, it was maybe 10% of our backer intake that we got. But I spent about 150 each times 3. So that could have gone towards more art, or just I could have skipped it. I could have made up that 10% somewhere else. So but I was kind of like, let's experiment. Let's see. Okay. It's a new property. It's a female character, because everybody kept telling me, female character, man, good luck with that. And
someone was telling you not to do a girl.
Yeah.
So all of their opinions from here on, so all of their opinions from here on out are negated. Like, that's over. You need to just cross off that path.
That person, yes. Because we made it. We ended. Not only did we make it, it was one of my most successful Kickstarters, and when a brand new female character. It's not like I said, this was brand spanking new, and I won't be listening to any of them.
Yeah, that's a life hack. This is what I'm telling this other guy who's doing this. He's doing. I guess I shouldn't talk about it. He's doing a book. How do I say this? He's doing a book with a bunch of guy characters, which is fine. And we're like, oh, that looks really cool, dude. Like, that's awesome. We love this concept. Where's the girl? And he's like, well, no, it's just these guys. And we're like, no. You don't understand. You have something here that if you drop a girl into this concept, you are going to make a lot of money. And he's like, well, I mean, I don't really want to go into that market. I'm like, we're telling you, all of us on this podcast are telling you, drop a girl in there. Now, this is not a do a girl book, make $1 million scheme. It doesn't work that way. But if you have something that's designed well and presents well, and you have good art for it, it's going to open doors that you wouldn't necessarily have gotten with just another muscle-bound dude with a sword or something that we've seen 1,000 times. Not to say we haven't seen the girls 1,000 times too, but the girls will outsell that stuff. Just ask Brian Polito.
Yeah, that is only in our arena, right? Crowdfunding, the crowdfunding space, it's dominated by, I don't want to say the bad girl era of books like it was in the 90s, right? But a lot of female driven books is what's dominating the crowdfunding landscape.
Sure.
And then you have, outliers like Calderon's book, featuring the protagonist is a mouse. Mine is a guy holding a shield.
But mine isn't really an outlier. I'm not making 30K on my campaigns. I mean, if I was making 30K on my campaigns, you can say I'm an outlier. I'm just doing all right. I think the future for myself and people who do books like this is outside. And like I mean, I've said it before. It's like, I think the future is to go outside of Kickstarter, into the direct market and other markets. Is there other markets aside from the direct market?
Correct.
Try to make a name for yourself there, and then come back. And that's where I may see growth, significant growth, because I'll be pulling them in from another market. But that's still has to be seen, as they say.
Well, you pissed Tom off. You pissed Tom off. He said,
man,
fuck your mouth. He said, my book is about a cat. You can take your mouse and get that shit out of here. That's what Tom.
Well, Tom's a sensitive guy. I don't know what to say.
I feel bad for Tom because his love of Batman books and his love of the Marvel movies, and people just like dump on him, and it's not right. It's not fair to him.
I love everything.
He likes what he likes, and
that's
everything.
True.
Yeah.
Yep. You should have seen how much he gushed over the Marvels.
Bro, I was excited that I was not the only one who went to go see it, that opening weekend.
No, you were the only one that saw it opening weekend. The box office says so.
I can't wait till it's on Disney Plus. I'm gonna run it right before I go to sleep. But it's funny how it's outside of the crowdfunding space. That's something like Marvel's, whether it's written well or not, because there's a lot of poorly written, female-led books in crowdfunding space that are doing financially well. But when you open up those pages, it's like, this is a shit story. Yet some of these people are out there saying the same thing about the Marvel's books, right? When the product they've brought out is pretty much like
it's not that good. Yeah. The thing is, and this is what I've said about people don't want to listen. Everybody's 5 years behind me, guys. So I want you to tag this right now and come back to it in 5 years. Everything that people are saying now, I was saying 5 years ago. So here's what I'm saying now. In 2003, 2004, in the last 5 years, art is what's carrying comics, period. Whether it's variant covers, which is the big key of it, or actually good interiors, that's what people flock to. Like look what happened when that Silvestri Batman book came out, right? People lost their minds. Oh my God, Mark Silvestri's doing a book. I want to get that book. But art is floating comics right now. There's so much content in the world that story is everywhere. Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and comics and TV. I mean, it's story is everywhere. So how do you attract somebody to take a chance on your story? And in the comic book world, that means art, period. I don't care what your concept is. Now, granted, there are exceptions. Like if you say, oh, I have a Cthulhu book, people know what that is. They come and see, I like Cthulhu, I'll come see it. But barring that, you need to have some significant artistic hook that people will look at it and go, that looks awesome on whatever IP it is. Like even JayDee's, while he doesn't do the girl stuff, he's got perfect art for his essentially animated characters, right? So anybody that likes like the Disney stuff and animated stuff, they're going to look at it and go, yo, I want to know what that is. Art is floating comics. Art is keeping comics alive right now, both in the indie space, the Kickstarter space, the retail space. They just said something like Thundercats for Dynamite is doing like 170,000 pre-orders. Do you think that's 170,000 cover A? No, not in the slightest. There's probably like 50 or 60 variants. There's a bunch of retailer variants. All of those numbers get put into one big giant number. And without those variants, that 170 might be at best half of that, which is still a great number, but maybe half of that without all those variants. So, anybody who poo-poos on the idea of variants and art and everything, It's like, dude, you do not understand this industry right now. You do not understand how it works, why it works, and what is required for it to work at a high level anyway.
Mm-hmm. I agree with Tom 110% when it comes down to attracting people to the work. But here's the thing, though, to add to that, if you want to bring customers back, you need that story, and that's where the good stories, good everything just is required, because it's not just going to take one or the other, because what is it? The Thundercats will sell 170,000 this issue, but it's going to probably fall a half in the second issue.
Yeah.
Right. And then, no, but here's the thing. So let's say they get down to what, 85,000, right? Now, what's going to sink or swim them is the story. If the story is really good and it's solid, that number may rise from 85,000, because that's what happened to Walking Dead over a while, right? It hit issue, it slid down all the way to issue 4. And then people started to say, "Oh, this is really good," and those numbers started creeping up, right?
And then it got an international following, and we know that if you don't know, France sold more copies of The Walking Dead than they did here in the U.S. That was huge.
Yeah,
it was huge, guys.
For
But yes,
him.
I mean the art brings people, right? And you need that solid story to keep them coming back for the next one. And yes, you're going to have that loss, but all right, of those 170,000 units that were sold, right? One of the biggest numbers, and he said it on his podcast, which comes out twice a week, which is promoting his work and everything else that he's working on tangentially.
Feld.
Oh, I mean, is he cutting you a check that you're gonna cut up? You're cutting promos for him?
Listen, I didn't say his name. Somebody else said his name. But I think we're all old enough to remember the Dick Clark effect, right? And for those of you who don't know, what's up?
Who's Dick Clark?
So Dick Clark was a radio DJ, folks, right? But
I didn't know you were that old.
I remember what he used to do, the $10,000 pyramid, and he said he did the show, even though he took a massive pay cut. He did it for just a little bit above scale, because he wanted to be in everyone's living room 5 days a week, right? He wanted that daily recognition. So as much as Calderon doesn't want to plug the guy's name, he's plugging himself twice a week in one of the top 3 rated podcasts. And does that not also have an effect on the amount of sales for the covers that he does?
Sure. Yeah. He has a fan base. So yeah, of course.
And for 30, almost 40 years, he's had a fan base.
But he's got a fan base, and he is also reminding them of the work that he's doing 2 times a week. How many of us are
more
doing
than that? He's constant. He's a self-promoting machine, and he added 70,000 from the moment he dropped. So the initial orders for Thundercats was 100,000. When they announced his cover, they added 70,000 copies, or 70,000 orders, because there's a difference. 70,000 orders were added to that amount. So, and I just got into it today because there was somebody posting bullshit, as they always do. And I got into, someone had to straighten them out, saying this didn't just happen. It's not just he promotes himself, and they're like, yeah, he's basically the thing was they were spinning it negative, that the dude's a self-promoter. And I'm like, this industry is a business.
Yeah.
Who is?
Why
right?
wouldn't
so like him,
fucking
like
do
him or
that?
not, there's something we can learn from him, because he's out there spreading his name out and spreading the work out, right? And one of the people that's putting the work out there on a regular basis, showing up on not only his own podcast, but someone like little old me is Mr. Calderon here with his latest book. I was there, and I remember.
Right? I was in. I remember. Yeah, issues 1 through 6.
And you got 8 days to go.
Yes.
You're over $2,000. You've got how many covers in the book?
There's two books. So it's issues 5 and 6 are the two new ones. But obviously, all of the prior issues are available, 1 through 5, 1 through 4, and there's two covers for each book. So we do the A and B cover, and that's pretty much it.
So these two covers over here are for different issues or the same?
That's for the same issue. That's for issue 5. That's
Okay.
Jade Gonzalez, and this
Okay.
is Mannix Francisco,
on the inside, yeah.
and then Jade Gonzalez on the interiors. And then
Okay.
this is for issue 6. This is Jade Gonzalez on the cover, and this is his name is underneath it. This is
way to go,
Diego Toro. Diego Toro.
Way to go, buddy. Somebody.
I know.
Forgetting.
Listen, bro. Tom, do you remember all the damn artists' names there?
Yes, I do, sir. Yes, I do, sir.
Well, good for you.
that was basically fuck you. You're on your own boat right now, bud.
Yeah, that's fine.
I sometimes mess up the colorists, but
Okay.
yeah, the artist I always got.
Okay.
Yeah. See, what I do is I just use the same guy, Slamet. So it's easy.
Yeah.
I always remember.
Listen, that's good. That's good. It's cost effective and memory efficient, right?
Yes.
And then so I guess the mouse is writing about himself because the writer doesn't want to show himself again tonight. And here's Jade.
What are you talking about?
Well,
There you go. I'm right there. There you go. Whoop, there you go. Now I'm gone.
He's having a bad hair day.
He's having a very bad hair day.
Yeah, I do need a haircut though. I'm like, shit.
But you got
What little I have left.
So this is issues number 1 through 6 of what volume though?
Oh, it's I don't know. I sent what's funny is I've gotten to a point where I send out a checklist with every time I send out a package of books, I send out a checklist. And it's a list of all the various stories so people will know in what order to read them in.
You could just put a number on it.
That would be for me because I always ask JD this every fucking time.
Yeah,
do I have this already? And and it kind of goes to my other thing that I was going to ask you. So because I already have 1 through 3. So is there a package to get a tier to get 5 and 6?
Yeah. You can just get 5 and 6 by itself, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, just 5 and 6. But over here we got then and now level for $40, and that gets you.
So what I'm doing with that level is so you can buy the current campaign as well as the prior campaigns books.
Okay.
So if you missed the prior campaign, you can pick up both campaigns at the same time.
There you go. And then you got the ultimate PDF level, which is jam fucking packed.
Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, I charge $45 for it, but there's 1,500 pages worth of stuff on there.
God damn.
Yeah. So I mean, I got people, they buy that one. I probably sell, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 10 of them per campaign. So
nice. And then the ultimate book level for 4 bones.
Yep.
Would be
I don't always get a bite on it, but when I do, it's good.
But you got a nice bite here on the $100 pledge.
Yep.
So not bad. You get some bites on the higher ones. That helps move that needle, baby. That's what that's all about, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I got another 8 days. And what's funny is I've only done one update on this. I've only done one. So it's like I haven't been hammering it, and I think over the next few days I will be. So we'll see if I can get it.
I'm doing updates on the newsletter, on the backer kit mail program, on the Kickstarter itself, on previous Kickstarters.
Oh, you've been on it. You've been on it. I get about 2 or 3 of yours every day in my email.
We're hustling, bro. We're hustling.
I get that reminder constantly.
That's Carlos's way of telling you, oh, go fuck yourself.
All right, so somebody's
up my inbox.
Somebody's doing a lot of updates for his campaign over here. I'm sure he's kicking ass. That's why he is going to be breaking the 20 grand mark in the next 8 days.
Woo.
Right?
Probably. That's wild, man. It's wild.
Are we gonna put money on an over and under over here? I'm thinking he's going to hit 22.
No.
No?
That's
Why not?
you're talking about $3,800. No. I think we're gonna the high point is gonna be 21. That'll be the high point. That's if we have a really good final week.
Okay.
What's your current backer count?
246.
246. Have you ever broken 3?
Oh yeah. We'll break 3 on this. We'll break 3 on this because we'll have a good last 3 or 4 days for sure. So we're gonna break 300 backers and we'll probably, I would guess we're going to top out at 21.
Okay, so 50 at an average of 25 it's about another 1,200 $1,300 bucks. Right?
Nice.
That would be 21.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. You know what, Tom? I wish you to have 22. I think you're going to make 22.
Yeah, dude, property taxes on that lake. You know what I mean? You got to.
I mean, I'll tell you, that's true. This campaign has been so surprising for so many reasons. Not the least of which is we have had and watched the curse happen. Ready? When you get down through this, you're going to roll back up, and everything will be different. But we have had almost no dropouts on this campaign.
Oh,
normally at this point, we've seen about $1,000 in dropouts at least. And at this stage, I think we're probably no more than $500 with 8 to go. Like, this has been a wildly bizarre campaign from all of our analytics of prior campaigns and the way that they've worked, particularly 3-week campaigns. So it's been fantastic. Our like I said before, our previous critter campaign, we did about $8,000. So we have doubled plus what we did on the last critter campaign. Nice. And we've done it with, less covers. Obviously we have a little more product because I got better at doing these campaigns. So we're selling, other BDI universe books and so on. But even so, it doesn't really account for the huge spike that we got. And again, like I said, like there's no dropouts happening. So it's been fantastic.
I wish you never said that because it's like the football jinx,
he
hit 35 extra points in a row, and then the one that they need is the one that he's going to blow. Right?
Yeah.
Now, did I hear you say, are you doing stuff with AP?
Yeah, AP. We're not out in stores yet, but AP is reprinting this series. Should be out towards the end of February. It will be the first issue. Will be in stores around the end of February. Yeah.
That it didn't give me a great bump, to be honest with you, but it was enough. That with last year with Remarkables, and we have a couple more that are coming out this next year. To me, it's all gravy, because it's already been paid for. It's basically what's the word? It's shelf stuff. And they're putting it out there into comic shops. So
yeah, but if the key is eyeballs, that could be the one thing that I can't really account for here is AP talking about the book, right? And I talk about it, and AP's been posting it on their Twitter and so on. Not that, well, actually they did do it on this, but only recently, not at the beginning. So there's been some AP extra, clearly from somewhere, but how much of that is AP extra? That's a different question. And I don't know if I could ever quantify it, but I know that we have about 50 of these backers are brand new backers, like brand new to us. So that's always great. We're always getting huge amounts of new backers. This book is done, by the way, all the art is done. So we're just finishing colors right now. So it's going to move really fast as far as fulfillment. And we should be fulfilling it right in April, right as the next campaign launches, which will be perfect. Because then as it goes live, they'll be getting books in their mail going, hey, remember us? come get the next one. Hurry up.
I really like this Iron Butterfly cover, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what was that? MR Gunn or MR Quinn?
MR Gunn. Yep.
MR Gunn. He did soup to nuts on this, or just the pencils?
The whole thing.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, he does the whole thing.
Nice, man.
Yeah, he's been a regular of us now for a few years. He'll be back on the next campaign. I was just talking to him today. He's also got a secret project behind the scenes that we're working on, him and I. So we'll be debuting that this year.
So out of all your themed covers, right? The spears, the cat ears, the Warlord of Mars cover. The did I say the Josie and the Pussycats? Right, so that's the cat ears one. Which theme is moving the most on this campaign?
Oh, you know the answer to that. You better know the answer to that. It
This
should
one
be an
right
obvious answer.
The Brittany? The
No.
Brittany?
No.
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 Oh, the Warlord of Mars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's got the skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let me tell you what the second place is, because it's been fluctuating a little bit, but I can look at it here. Actually, you know what? Right now it's no, it's not a tie. So we've had, the Catgirl of Mars is number one. The Mars Foong, just the regular critter where she's standing there with her fists, that's the second best. And then right behind that is the Clockwork Kitten, the steampunk critter.
Yeah, that's
so
a
those
nice
are,
one too.
yeah, so those are the top three
That's a nice one.
that are running right now. And it's always interesting to see like what people gravitate towards. Sometimes it's obvious to get it. Sometimes you're surprised. You know.
So the Brittany with the belly chain isn't making big waves?
Nope, that's not in the top. Well, there's 9 covers. It's not in the top. It's not in the top half. But again, we also remember that when we look at these analytics on the back end, we only see the basic pledge, so it doesn't account for add-ons.
Right.
So we could have 20 add-ons for one of those things, and I wouldn't know it until we're done.
Well, I hope you get your money back at least on all of them. I hope none of them cost you. You know?
Oh no, we're fine. We're fine.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Carl is the high point of our budget on this. That's the Catgirl of Mars. It wasn't anything that broke the bank, so we're nice. In great shape.
And your critter figures, not figurines, excuse me. They're adding nice bonuses to you.
Yeah, nice pops every now and then. Yep, absolutely.
It's funny. I'm focusing on that with the title of tonight's conversation, right? But I mean, you said it. This was focused on its own campaign, so it wasn't like you were using the campaign to raise the money for this, also.
Right? And we waited 13 years to do figures. Like, it wasn't like year 2. Hey, let's make action figures. Like we built the Critter brand, the Big Dog brand, over a period of time, and we did the Critter figures because we wanted to try and change the perception of the company from, to show its ability to be somewhere else without sort of forcing it out there. So, and it did exactly what we wanted it to do. So, even now,
any conventions yet with the figures or no?
Only a couple late last year. We only had a couple because we just were in the middle of fulfilling as we wrapped up the end of the year. But we sold a bunch at cons, and again, that was the end of the year. So once we get into like the spring summer cons, people will be ready for them. Yeah, nice. And we don't have a ton left. I mean, we sold a lot on the campaign, so it's not like we're sitting on another 1,000 figures or anything.
And here's the mystery box, right? So I got my own way of operating with the mystery box, and a lot of the shiny baubles, the tchotchkes that we did try, that we did attempt, that maybe didn't take off. Those are things that I usually stick into my mystery boxes when we do conventions, because at least people are still getting something for it. I'm still getting some money off of it. If it's not 100% of what I'm looking for, then it is at least something. Right. And in a mystery box, the sum is greater than the whole of its parts.
Yeah. I mean, we always like to make our mystery boxes so you're getting something guaranteed. So you're guaranteed that cover, that Keith Garvey cover, and you're guaranteed that acrylic standee. That's 100% guaranteed. And then everything else will be the mystery, like which variant covers am I getting from which different titles and so on.
Yep. This year I'm doing it because another buddy of mine has been doing the mystery boxes to great success, and then Jay's been doing them, and it seems to be working for him. So this year, 2024, I will be doing the mystery boxes for the first time.
Yeah, dude, they kick butt for me when I do conventions, man. People love to gamble, and that mystery box, satiates that appetite. Here we go. And then we got the metal cards, hollow foil cards.
Metal and foil. So those are covers. So you can turn.
I'm sorry. These are the covers.
Yeah, you can turn any of your covers into metal or foil if you want to. Whatever you like. If you like the fancy stuff, you can pick your own fancy stuff, and then you just dive into the BDI universe. All of our back issues and trade paperbacks and different things that you can get to for when. So you're ready for when we do more Ursa Minor. You'll know what the hell's going on. You can get that first.
Was Ursa Minor the one that was a collab with Dynamite or no?
No, that was Bad Kitty that I did their thing for Bad Kitty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Those things do so good. That was probably my number one as far as was the metal covers. Man, they did well for me. They've done well in the past, but it was always because of the fact that I isolated it to the Jason Metcalf covers. But this time I did like you did, where I made all the covers available in metal, and yeah, people ate that up. And I had like $120, $130, some kind of crazy tier, and people actually went for it.
Well, people were getting mad at me in the past campaigns because I would pick like 2 or 3 to make foil and metal, and they'd be like, "Well, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one." Like, okay, fine, we're just gonna open the door. You can get whatever you want because we make all that stuff to order. So with just a small minimum. So they're usually very, very limited, and people like that.
Yep.
All right, Tom. Moment of truth. Did you hit the extra point?
We're back to 15,000.
Did you? Oh, shut up, man. All right. Well, listen, you didn't lose anybody. So that's a plus, right? That's a plus.
Excellent. Yeah. Right? We held. Yeah, we're fine.
And the campaign.
Damn it, went on JD's show and look what happened.
Never going to sit with that motherfucker again. Fuck that. Well, the one campaign out of the 3 tonight that doesn't need help, folks, is this bad boy right here, Mr. Single Cover himself. This is my book here, Shield of the Interceptor. We got 21 days left. I'm doing the longer campaign than the guys. I'm going 4 weeks as opposed to the 3. This here is our Francesco Tomaselli cover. Francesco's done work on Transformers, King Spawn, Power Rangers, Green Lantern, Superman, Darkwing Duck, and a few others. So yeah, so we put all the kittens in the basket on this one. I like it. We have here our gift for returning backers. So that's going to be a holochrome trading card. And then we've unlocked stretch goal number 1. We are less than $200 away from unlocking stretch goal number 2. For anybody who's interested, you can pick up issues 1, 2, 3, 4. The first appearance of the Interceptor in the Storm Chasers, issue number 5. The origin story of the Interceptor in Unstoppable Origins number 1. And then we've got our character guides, kind of like the old Marvel Universe Handbook or DC's Who's Who. You get a little bit more information on some of the characters, what their powers are, their power sets, stuff like that. Here we go with some of the interior pages from artist Andres Barrero. He did issues number 3 and 4. All right. Here's our creative team. Myself, Andres, Champe, the colorist, my wife, the letterer, Francesco, the cover artist. Trading cards is a big thing for me. I love doing trading cards as stretch goals. And we've had a lot of campaigns and a lot of stretch goals hit. So if you were not part of any of the other previous campaigns, you can pick up all of the trading cards in one set, either its own reward or as an add-on to another one. So that includes all 4 current holochrome trading cards, plus the special free 24-hour holochrome card that is not here. So I got to update that. For those of you who are looking on space, I'm not as to save on space. I'm not as cost effective as Calderon with 1,500 pages at $45. You fucking lowballing son of a bitch. But I've got about 28, 29 books here at $3 a pop. That's almost $30, but for $60, that's almost $90. But for $60, you can get the entire digital catalog. And then we've got our t-shirt. So there are either an add-on to any reward that you want, or you can pick up the t-shirts right on out. So that's it for me. Hopefully, I hit the extra point by the time I got to the back to the top. All right, nobody bounced. Well, I give my spiel on that. We got 21 days left, folks. And if you got the time, click the video. It's a nice little animatic sequence to start this bad boy off. Man. Yeah. So if anybody else is still watching us, I appreciate you. And folks, please check out the books. You know what I mean? That's a whole team of seasoned individuals here who have been grinding it out and taking some names, right? I know Carlos has
salt really a seasoning?
It's
Yeah,
salt
maybe.
seasoning.
I just say we're just a bunch of salty sons of bitches. That's all. You know.
I think I'm more surly than salty, but okay, I'll go with that. I'll go with that. Here we go. We got Indie Comics Network. So tell us what it's about. Which book? Mine, Calderon's?
The Shield of the Interrupter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Shield
go.
of the Interceptor is the story of a man who found the shield that was supposed to be paired with the sword Excalibur. Plain and simple, in all the research that I had done, I have never found any information about a shield. I found stuff about a cloak, a dagger, a spear that went with King Arthur, but never a shield. So that allowed me the opportunity to play along the lines of the mythology, but not be bound by its rules. I was able to take a normal everyday person and place them in a superhero setting, but touch upon the mythological elements that are within Avalon and King Arthur or even Midsummer Night's Dream. Superhero stuff, not trying to reinvent the wheel. It is a male-dominated book, but there are females in there. He gets the Peter Parker complex.
You got a topless cover?
I was waiting for the nude cover.
And he could do a nipple topless cover too.
You can do here's what you do, dude. You got to do like a Batman Damned homage where you get the full Interceptor.
I can't be jealous of my own creation. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm hung high, so I don't want to say fuck. We got Michael.
Michael.
Never go full Interceptor is what Jay's telling you.
Great art there. Even when I didn't do the colors, LOL. Okay, man, no hard feelings. But you did the colors on mine, Jumpy. You did colors on mine, but not the cover. But yeah, so here we are, folks, and I guess I can say that the four of us are guys who definitely left the cart behind the horse. Right? We built up something first. We built up a solid foundation before we started to explore some of those other elements. Right? And
like JayDee said, I think that's the key, because if people don't care about your character, they don't want it on a shirt.
Yeah. Right.
It's like that dumb mouse. I don't even want a shirt because it's just a dumb mouse. But if they like the mouse, oh my God, Oswald's awesome. Give me a shirt of Oswald. Like that's how merchandising works. You got to make something that they want first.
Mm-hmm.
You got to build the brand.
Hell yeah. Now, Carlos, you are currently fulfilling She is Black Dahlia, right?
That's right.
All right, baby. And issue number 2 for that is coming out.
Art, because Tom mentioned art is driving it. Yes, this entire thing was driven by the art. Oliver De La Cruz, even we launched it. To me, I consider it a pop-up Kickstarter.
Okay.
Almost all of my other Kickstarters were given the 2-month lead time, the promo, the ads on Facebook, leading up to it. With this one, we didn't even. It was so. I didn't even have colored pages. Now I had the cover art was colored, but the preview pages were all black and white. But it still quadrupled plus the
very nice.
The goal, because Oliver's art, and then wait till everybody sees. Now I have posted some of the color art in updates, but yeah, it's the craziest book I've ever written. There's things in it that are going to make people go, wow, whoa.
Nice.
Um, and
Nice.
that was one of my goals going in, was I wanted to stretch most of the stuff that I have, and anyone who knows me, it's mostly standard superhero fare, like what you're doing with Shield, which is still beautiful. But it is what it is. And I just wanted to, on this book, stretch my chops,
Nice.
and push Oliver as well, because he'll curse me half the time going, damn, why are you having me draw this? But it's like, I'm going to make you better, and it's going to just make the product better, and I'm excited about it. And yeah, we're getting to the end.
Nice. I got a question for all of you guys, a quickie before we head out of here. But how come Kickstarter numbers don't go up every time you hit the reload button?
They do for me.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. that for me, it's the first 48 hours it works like that, but after that I start to struggle.
Yeah.
They don't even go up on their own. I gotta hit the reload. I don't even get to see the numbers trickle up.
It's called Kickstarter, not wish fulfillment.
It does do it on its own. If you sit there and leave that window
the
open,
screen,
and somebody backs, you will see it spin up. So
that's for you 5-figure motherfuckers.
Okay.
I'm still down here in the 3 to 5 pool. You know what I'm saying, dude?
That, for me, that just happens like Calderon said, in the first, like, the last 3 Kickstarters have all funded within 24 hours. So I haven't had to sweat it out like a lot of the other ones where we were coming down to the end and then we were getting people backing out, and it's like, oh shit, man.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Luckily, I've been kind of spoiled. Again, the last 3, bang, bang, bang. By the first 24 hours, they're off and running. But that's usually the only time I see that little, because I want to see that Polito thing going, where anytime, because I usually tune into all of his launches, and it just because, man, just the dream thing of it, and watching how it goes, and it's just the numbers are like, we're at 10,000, we're 12 seconds in.
It's like a Jerry Lewis telethon, right?
It's like, yeah, exactly. And it's just,
I know.
And I know I may never get there. It may take years, or who knows how that's going to shake out. But I like sitting there, just daydreaming, watching it go, and how that works. But and I get a tiny taste, like I said, when I launch and I look. Usually, that's when the movement goes pretty quick, and I'm like, yeah, here we go. And they. And hopefully, the next one it'll be similar. So,
listen, I get it. I would pay for, Calderon to blow anybody to get those numbers. You know what I'm saying, bro? I mean, I see that as money well spent, right? He's making a couple bucks. I'm getting funded. It's a win-win for everybody.
Everybody.
I mean, like I said, dude, like, you constantly project. I just don't understand. If you feel the need to go out and blow somebody, go do you, bro.
I didn't have
It's like, go do what you gotta do, to raise your money. Go do it. It's fine. It's fine. Just think back on your college days when you had to go do it for beer money. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just now you're just doing comics. That's all.
Listen. Colt 45 was expensive. I mean, you got to do what you got to do when you're in college, right? Guys,
Colt 45 was never expensive, but okay.
It was when Billy D was repping it. They had to charge more to pay his license.
I grew up poor. I didn't have a lake entrusted to me by my family. You know, I didn't come from a supermarket chain family.
Frozen. You know what, Jay? Do you know what?
Uh-huh.
There were motherfuckers out on there last night on snowmobiles, and I was really upset about it because it was so loud.
You
Get
were
off
hoping
my
they would go
lake.
through the ice.
Get
right?
off my lake.
Did you charge him a tariff?
I hate those posts. You see the sunset in the back of the fucking lake. And I'm like, that's not a Hallmark card. You know what I mean? That's actually his fucking back. This fucking guy's. Oh my god. But guys, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope you guys had fun. I hope everybody watching this had fun.
Yeah.
I hope everybody here makes some good money at their campaigns, and I hope you get to continue making more books.
Yes.
All right. So before we get out of here, please, Tom, tell everybody where to find you.
Big Dog Inc. Basically, wherever you go, we're on Facebook, Instagram, the X. This is the interesting thing, right? I think you guys ever watched The Social Network, the movie The Social Network?
Yes.
Where they tell him, take away the, just Facebook, right? It's cleaner. But X for me doesn't work. I think he should take the X from Facebook and put it on X. It should be the X, not just X. Elon should put the in front of the X.
But we still call it tweets.
But it's not Twitter anymore. It's X. I don't care what your tweet is called, but the website should be the X, not just X. It doesn't work for me, Elon. You gotta fix that. The X, the X. It's better. It's better. So we're there. We're on TikTok. We do all those things. Patreon, of course. We have our Patreon members that have a great time watching us do all of our work. So join us there as well.
Nice. Carlos, where can they find you, brother?
So Instagram at Champion Comics Group. X is Carlos F. Raphael. And then we have championcomicsgroup.com. And then lastly, facebook.com/Champion Comics Group. So pretty easy. And
Nice.
thank you for having me.
Brother. Thank you for being here. Calderon, where can they find you, kid?
Most places just under JayDee Calderon, and most importantly, the Oswald Chronicles, currently on Kickstarter. Most important place to find me, that's where you go. And tomorrow night, I'll be on with this guy again on Indie Comics Explained, and we'll be on there with another fantastic group of independent comic book creators. You know,
and I'll be watching from my job, trying to get a few licks in there.
There you go.
Gotcha.
And this is where you can find me. And it's still Twitter to me because that is the web header you got to type in. You can't type in just X to get to the website. So yeah, thank you all for being here, and thank you everyone who stuck around and for your comments. I appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.